Back here at Cleveland Stadium, we just had some more fireworks, and one of the things very evident in the pregame festivities and also here at halftime were the number of flash bulbs that you see. So these fans are here to record this historic moment, and unfortunately for the hometown, it's not working out on the field like they had expected. Their team has been outclassed 20-0. The Steeler offense has shown the whole package tonight, and I think the Browns defense, considered to be the strength of this football team, was not ready to deal with the whole package. Steelers in that first half had 46 offensive plays, the Browns 16. Now that should be 40, probably more, but the punts don't count as offensive plays, but it's still it's total dominance by the Steelers, who kick off to start the second half.
Now, Will Blackwell suffered that concussion in the second quarter. The press box has no report on whether he will play anymore tonight. I would rather doubt it. The Steelers leading 20-0.
Chris Brown will kick it off, and he drives it deep again. Inside the 5 to the 1, taken there by Ronnie Powell, the rookie. 10, 15, 20, hit hard, and down he goes at the 25. Steelers had the lanes all pretty much contained, and a good job by the Steelers in special teams this time for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Very fine rookie linebacker Joey Porter, who's wearing 55 in the regular season instead of the 95. The Greg Lloyd lookalike that he portrayed during the preseason.
Yeah, he says he wants to be his own guy, have his own number.
From the 24, Ty Detmer remains the quarterback, and the running play off the right side is going to lose yardage. Terry Kirby runs into Kevin Henry, and the Steelers have that play pretty much contained. It just had no chance to start. Matter of fact, it lost 1 yard to the 23.
Kevin Henry was reminded this past week by the Tribune Review's Jerry DePaula that the dear Orlando Brown, the big tackle. I'll finish that story in a moment. Kind of interesting.
Offset backfield right, Steelers show blitz. Outside motion from the left by wide receiver Leslie Shepard, the former Steeler product. Terry Kirby on the draw play is going to pick up maybe 2 yards out to the 25. Tackled by Chad Scott, and the Steeler defense has pretty much throttled the Browns here. That's a 3-yard pickup, 3rd down and 8.
Orlando was using the occasion of this game to point out that Kevin Henry, the last time they played against each other in Cleveland, grabbed him in the pile by the you-know-whats.
Gentiles?
Yes. Wait, I'll finish the story after this play.
Shotgun for Detmer, sidecar left, 2 receivers each side. Wollabaugh snaps it. Detmer is back. Not much of a blitz, and the pass is wide of the mark at the 41-yard line. Tight coverage by Dwayne Washington all over Damon Gibson, the second-year receiver from Iowa. And I hear a smattering of Bronx cheers.
And Kevin, when reminded of that, told what Orlando said, Orlando Brown, he said, I don't remember that, but if I did that, I'm sorry. I apologize. Can you figure Jack Splatt ever apologizing for Joe Green for that under a pile?
Yeah, but it's a new era, and they do things differently nowadays. Gardocki in punt formation, and he sends it high, and back is Troy Edwards to retreat and take it and slip a little bit at the 25. He'll be hit and dropped at the 24-yard line. Once he slipped, he really had lost any timing on the play, and by that time the Browns' pursuit had caught up to him. From Cleveland Brown Stadium on the lakefront, Steelers football continues here in the third quarter with a score: Pittsburgh 20, the Browns nothing.
Will Blackwell, wearing a baseball cap down below us, will not play anymore this evening. And Alan Faneca, he has an ankle injury, the big guard, and his return is questionable.
49-yard punt by Gardocki, a -1 yard return by Troy Edwards. Steelers go, 2 wideouts left. And the give is straight ahead to the bus. And the bus is just a master at finding the cracks. The Steeler ground game, which really was not overly impressive in the preseason, has been sparkling tonight and crisp. And I think the presence of number 36 has a whole lot to do with it.
85 yards he's got.
You know, for a big guy, he does a great job of skinnying himself up and finding that crease.
He does. And the Steeler offensive line has been healthy to this point, but now Roger Duffy's on for Alan Faneca, who's got an ankle problem, and right now is on the Steeler bench receiving attention. And the option, pitch to Whitman. No, that's the bus, and he turns the corner and gets very close to the first down off the right side. We got a scrum on the sideline. Bettis locked up with a Brown, and they're kind of pushing and clawing, and I think I saw some feet fly, and I do believe the defender was Corey Fuller. Corey Fuller was the guy who was trying to tackle the bus as he took that option pitch to the right side.
And nice work by Slash Stewart, even though the play only gained a yard or so, because he waited to the last instant to pitch that ball. He was, in fact, in contact. He got 4 yards on the play. It's 3rd down and 1.
That's the second time they've jumped into that defense. It's like the bear, and he has audibled into the option play.
Hines Ward in motion to give to the fullback and trying to fight for yardage, and I don't think he made it, was John Whitman. It looked like the lanes were sealed. For the first time, the Browns really kept the Steelers contained on that fullback dive play. And Brown gets up slowly, and that is Derek Alexander helping himself up to his feet, but he seems to be okay. Well, now the spot looks the other way. I thought he was stopped, but I'll tell you what, Whitman did a good job to get what appears to be a first down. They're going to make sure by bringing the sticks in from the near side. So they're going to wave first down and move the sticks. Pretty apparent that it is in front of the lead stick. Steelers from the 35-yard line in Steeler territory. Backslide blitz, and the pass is complete. And Stewart was leveled, but he completed it to Courtney Hawkins, who's tackled after he rings up the first down at the 48-yard line. It was John Theory on the linebacker blitz who crawled up Cordell's back and knocked him down, but Cordell bounced right up and seems to be okay. Steelers again with a first down pickup.
And a 13-yard gain. And again, I'll point out that the Steelers punted not once in the first half, nor have they so far punted in the third quarter.
47-yard line. The Steelers in their own territory with a 20-0 lead third quarter. Draw play, markers down. This appears to be against the offense. And the carry by Richard Huntley of almost 10 yards, I think, is going to be brought back.
Shift.
The illegal shift is the call from referee Bob McElwee. 2 men in motion at the same time.
Nice gain by Huntley, almost for a first down, but
it
appeared nothing.
It appeared very much like Canadian football.
And they did not reset prior to the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, Jerry Ball, the number 93, the big nose tackle for the Cleveland Brownies, he is listed at 320, and I'm telling you what, he's definitely 350 plus. And when you're running on that field for 48 plays, chasing Cordell and Jerome Bettis all around, you start getting tired, as they just took Jerry Ball out.
Yeah, he kind of waddles to the sideline. 1st and 15 from the 42. In Steeler territory. The give off the left side. Huntley trying to turn the corner. He cuts it back, takes on a tackler, gets up over the 45 off the left side to the 46 for about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down 11. Marquez Pope, the strong safety who played the last 4 seasons with the San Francisco 49ers, is the man who makes the stop for Cleveland.
Well, Huntley, we criticized him for dancing too much in the backfield last week in the preseason game, and he wasn't doing that tonight. And again, he's clean with fumbles this year, but there he did it a little bit. He should have beaten that cornerback to the sideline. He would have beaten that cornerback to the sideline, but he did a stutter step.
One back, and he's offset behind left tackle, so it's a passing look on 2nd and 11. Back is Stewart. Passes into and out of the hands of the intended receiver, up around the Cleveland. They're down to the Cleveland 43. But Antonio Langham came up and delivered a blow to the Steeler would-be receiver Hines Ward, and he just didn't squeeze the football. It's 3rd down and a long 11.
Pass was on the money.
Was that Edwards?
Edwards, yes.
Yeah, Troy
was Edwards?
Yeah, he should have had that. That was a nice quick post that Cordell put the ball right on the spot. And another, he's dropped a lot. He makes a lot of spectacular plays, Troy Edwards. But you know what? He drops some easy balls.
3rd down, a long 11. 4 wideouts. That's the only 4 available. Will Blackwell is not. And it's a nickel look by Cleveland, and Cordell burns another timeout. Didn't like what he saw and decided to come to the sideline and discuss it with offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride. 9:31 to go, third quarter here in the official opening for the regular season of Cleveland Browns Stadium. Steelers football continues with a score. Pittsburgh 20, Cleveland nothing.
Cordell Stewart has completed 2/3 of his passes. He's 14 for 21 for 146 yards, 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions.
This offense tonight has a good feel to it. And they've really thrown the whole package at the Browns. But they face a 3rd and 11 now from the 46. They pick the blitz up, go to the screen, and look out. Here comes Huntley. First down and more. 40, 35, 30, and he's into Browns territory down just outside the 30-yard line where Dalen McCutcheon, the rookie cornerback from USC, gets his ankle and trips him up. McCutcheon, the son of a very famous NFL man by the name of Lawrence McCutcheon.
And I'll tell you what, Huntley had a lot of screen in front of him, but he just flat out ran the screen in no time. And then Courtney Hawkins was unable to get a block on McCutcheon. Hawkins was the only guy left on field to block for Huntley. But nice play against the blitz.
24-yard screen pass to the 30-yard line of Cleveland, and now the fullback Whitman goes in motion right to the wide side. Straight ahead comes Huntley, gets a good block inside the 25, down to the 23. What a great job by Hines Ward on the flank to knock a defender and keep him off the ball carrier. It was Jameer Miller, the linebacker, who got to him.
Well, now the defensive tackles that the Brownies signed this year are run stoppers, and they're relying on defensive ends to get a pass rush. They're kind of small, the defensive ends. They're not particularly getting a pass rush, are they? And those tackles aren't stopping the run.
Their run stoppers aren't doing nothing.
They're run stoppers. Gee whiz.
And the man who just stopped that run, 6'5", 266-pound Jameer Miller, is receiving attention from the Browns training corps, and he's going to be helped off the field. He's under his own power, but he got racked up on the play.
Well, it looks like the bus has got his baseball cap on, and he's got the kind of well, I'm relaxing now look on the sideline. So I don't know if we'll be seeing him again. They're
gonna not give him let him have a 100-yard game. There's money in that, isn't there?
2nd and 3. Student body left, and Huntley picks his way and is stacked up and is going to be short of the first down by about a yard. It'll be 3rd and 1. Lanoy Jones stacked him up. And the bus, we are informed, before he put everything back into the garage, had 18 trips tonight.
Well, and
That's a lot more carries than Cowher had planned. He figured 9 or 10 carries, maybe 25 plays.
You know what? And you don't want him to get any more work, because here's a guy that hasn't done a whole lot in a long time. And if you overwork him on his first night out, you have a chance to injure a hamstring or that sore calf.
You're right.
He probably won't get out of bed till Tuesday or Wednesday.
Absolutely.
3rd down and 1 at the 21. Steelers have everything in tight except for one man. They fake a little sneak and a little quick flick out to the left side, and Huntley rambles for the first down to the Browns' 18-yard line. A 3-yard gain on 3rd and 1. McTire was in pursuit.
Oh, was that neat? Boy, that slash is so cute out there tonight. He faked that sneak exactly as you reported. Leaned that shoulder forward, then bingo, hits the little pass out in the left flat, and they got the first time.
Well, you know, every time that the end to the weak side goes down in between the guard tackle gap, they have attacked the perimeter. The first 2 times with an option, that time with just a fake little, like you said, a little sneak and then a quick out to Richard Huntley.
11th play of the drive. Steelers 1st and 10 at the Browns' 18. Draw a handoff. Huntley gets the blocking. Turns inside at the 10, down to the 5, and down at the 5-yard line by a couple of Cleveland defenders. Raheem Abdullah, the outside backer, and middle backer Wally Rayner. But you could just see the blocking develop beautifully. This offense feels like a glove tonight.
Yeah, and Huntley, I'm sure they must have spoken. Dick Hope must have told him after that last exhibition, hey, what are you doing with this jitterbugging in the backfield? Because he didn't do that last year. He hit the holes flying, and he's running good tonight.
And now Zaraway becomes the 3rd tailback for the Steelers. Rookie Amos Zaraway from West Virginia gets a call off the left side, finds a crease and gets down to the 3-yard line. Heavy traffic out there, and I think he might have tripped over his own blocker. Raheem Abdullah is going to get credit for the stop because he pinned him down, but I think Zaraway lost his balance because of the traffic off that left side.
And you know, Myron, I think that when there's no hole there, it's easier to do a little dancing. When there's a big hole there, you just take it and run.
True.
So I think let's give a little credit where credit is due to that offensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers, because they are just taking the Cleveland Brown defensive line and driving them 5, 6, 7 yards back and putting them on their backs.
And Huntley averaging 6 yards a carry, has 30 yards.
2nd and goal from the 3. After Zaraway's 2-yard gain, a throw this time. Blitz. Pass is in the end zone and incomplete. Diving for the try in the Steeler end zone is tight end Mark Bruner. Raheem Abdullah had coverage, and I do believe the defender may have gotten a piece of the ball.
Well, boy, I'll tell you, Slash had a big pass rusher right in his face when he got rid of that.
Well, they've been going after him. They've been blitzing him a bunch on pass rush downs, and once again, it is Jameer Miller. He has blitzed 4 or 5 times today and been in Cordell's face. Cordell doing a nice job of getting rid of the ball.
I think maybe a good reach around by Abdullah was the key to the play there, in addition to the pressure. 3rd and goal from 3 yards out for the Steelers. And they're going to have to call. No, they get the play off. Draw play straight ahead, Huntley, and he goes up standing for the touchdown. Richard Huntley on the draw play went standing up for the score, and the Steelers have the Browns backing up right to the edge of the water here at Lake Erie.
I want to tell you, Tim McKyer, a safety man, was the only guy that laid a hand on him. He laid a hand on him, but the guy went right by him and went in standing up. McKyer gets up holding his back. It's not McKyer, holding his back like he got a backache from touching the guy.
Well, it looked like he just kind of waved at him, Myron.
Yeah.
Chris Brown to try the point after. Good snap by Schneck, and it's blocked. And it rolls into the end zone, and I couldn't tell who in the middle of that line got the block, but it's no good, and the score will remain at 26-0. So the Steelers misfire on an extra point try as one of the Browns got in there and blocked the extra point. With the score, Pittsburgh 26, Cleveland nothing. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers Football Network.
Holy cow, the Steelers have run 59 plays to only 19 for the Brownies. The Steelers just went 76 yards on 14 plays. It's amazing. It makes me choke.
He's choked with emotion, folks. Browns kickoff is high and short, taken at the 8 by Ronnie Powell left side. Gets a block 15-20, still on his feet 25, and down at the 29-yard line. I think a Steeler missed him upfield, and I think I see Chris Oldham kind of slapping his helmet. Deshae Townsend made the final stop. From Cleveland Brown Stadium, 3rd quarter, with 5:16 to go, Steelers football continues with a score. Pittsburgh 26, Cleveland nothing.
The fans are booing here as Ty Detmer has come back out with the offense. And you know what? If I'm head coach Chris Palmer, I think this is the time to put in Tim Couch because the Steelers have a huge lead. They're not going to play as aggressively on the defensive side of the ball. They're not going to blitz as much. They're going to play a little bit more softer coverages. This would be a great opportunity for Couch to come in and build some confidence and get some playing time.
I totally disagree. We'll talk about it.
Detmer from the 29, the Browns' best field position to start any drive tonight. They have 50 total yards. Back is Detmer, going to throw it long down the middle, and it's incomplete. Thrown long for the intended receiver, Kevin Johnson, the speedy rookie from Syracuse. Dwayne Washington was the coverage man. The pass was overthrown.
And I would like to hear your disagreement,
It
Myron.
would be totally pointless, and a guy could leave. As terrible as the Brownies are, it could be traumatic for him to go out there. Now, they could bang him or run something silly, and what would he gain even if he looked good? No, wrong place and wrong time for the Tim Couch.
I will respond after this play.
This debate,
what is going to go on all
debate
night?
being brought to you by the Cleveland Water Company. We are not in short supply. Back is Detmer. The out pass is complete. Johnson sidesteps a tackler, comes up over the 35, and is pinned down as he gets to the 37 for about an 8-yard gain. Earl Holmes credited with a tackle the defensive back missed on the first try.
And the Steelers will not be blitzing anymore. I mean, they're not going to blitz. They're not going to bring their total blitz package with this kind of a lead. And this is a good time to get your feet wet.
Feet wet.
Feet wet.
He might get his feet broke.
Darren Cheverini up top. 2 receivers to the boundary left against the Steeler dime. Detmer to the shotgun. His team down 26-0. A 3rd and 2 has to redeploy his sidecar to his left. And that's Terry Kirby. Here's the snap from Wollabaugh. Back is Detmer. He is hit and sacked back at the 29-yard line. He wanted to go deep to Cheverini up the right sideline, but it was Chris Oldham on the safety blitz who said, no, we're going to introduce you to the natural turf surface.
Yeah, I told you ain't going to blitz or nothing. The Tim Couch is in there. He just got smashed.
They're not blitzing as aggressively, and it's not like Ty Detmer has taken that many shots.
Yeah, but these guys are quitting down
You're
there.
paying
and
up a bazillion dollars. You got to play him.
He'd be playing with 10 guys who are washed up for the night.
Gardocki in punt formation. Line of scrimmage 28. Kuehl is the snapper. Not much pressure. He kicks it high. It's wobbly. Edwards signals for the fair catch and comes up to it and greets it at the 35-yard line as a Cleveland defender whizzed by. From Cleveland Brown Stadium, 4:10 left, 3rd quarter. Steelers football continues with a score. Pittsburgh 26, the Browns nothing.
for the Steelers, 102.5 DVE.
Far be it for me to ever argue with Myron, but I do notice that Mr. Tim Couch is taking snaps on the far sideline, and Mr. Ty Detmer now has a baseball cap on, and so does Cordell, and that means Mike Tomczak is running the offense for the Steelers now.
Okay, and I'll respond to that.
Tomczak, the 15-year veteran from Ohio State, here in the state of Ohio, getting some playing time in the regular season. Draw play to Amos Zaraway. He gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. Play didn't really have any good rhythm to it. Darius Holland, backup defensive tackle, made the stop. Fifth-year man from Colorado, came over as an unrestricted free agent from the Lions.
Well, Detmer was 6 for 13 for 47 yards, and I still say if the coach Chris Palmer puts him in, now, he's wrong, and he's making a rookie coach mistake, a rookie head coach. I have more experience than he does.
Coach Cope has spoken, but Detmer has the ball cap on. Back is Tomczak. Throws the out pattern. It is complete. The gain is to the 42 to John Whitman on the quick out as we pause for station identification on the Pittsburgh Steelers Football Network.
All blitz.
WDVE, Pittsburgh.
Gain to Whitman on the quick out. The Steelers using the fullback a lot is 6 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 4 at the 41. And now the Browns go with 7 defensive backs. The Steelers with 4 wide outs. Back is Tomczak. Has time. Wide open outside. There's a first down at the 50. Little head fake by Amos Zaraway, and he gets to the 45-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Now that was a secondary bust. Somebody didn't pick up Amos Zaraway coming out of the Steeler backfield.
Well, Amos kind of hid behind the offensive line, guys. He looked like he was going to block, and then he just bled out to the left, and there was nobody out there. Did you notice that big move? He took a huge step to cut one way and then a huge step to cut the other way.
He put an extra 5 yards on that play by just giving a zig and a zag to that cornerback who was going nuts before he got him down.
By the way, Tunch, if you argue with Cope and you're unsuccessful, you lose a timeout. 14-yard pass play to the 45 of the Browns. Naked boot after the fake. Here comes Tomczak on the run. He guns it. And a first down at the 33-yard line. A diving catch on the comeback by rookie Troy Edwards. A nifty one in front of Corey Fuller. That was a gain of 13 yards.
Tomczak looking pretty nimble for a guy that's 37 years old and been in the league forever. On that bootleg, outruns the defensive lineman Alexander just to put the ball right on the side. Does a nice job of throwing on the run.
And smart enough to know in a 27-0 ball game. 26. He don't need to run with that ball and get a knock on the head again.
Press box tells us Arnold Miller blocked the extra point. Right now, that's of no consequence.
Well, it is to Arnold Miller.
It is. Tomczak back after a check with me, wide open. It is Troy Edwards spinning to the 29-yard line for 5 yards. Tackled very quickly by cornerback Corey Fuller.
I mean, the well-known Arnold Miller now has that going for him.
Arnold Miller is a rookie from LSU who was signed as a free agent by these Cleveland Browns.
And here are the latest NFL scores from Brewery Fresh Budweiser Extended Coverage Scoreboard. I'll get to them after the Steelers run this play.
Edwards wide left. In the slot, Hines Ward. Tight end, Mark Bruner to the right side. That's the boundary. Steelers have an I formation on 2nd and 5. Check with me. Here goes Tomczak changing the play. 5 on the huddle clock. He has plenty of time and gets the play underway. Gives it to Zaraway. Second man through. Hits the whole lickety-split and fights his way for the first down. Took a hard hit on the play from Wally Rayner, the middle linebacker. Tim McTire came up to help out. But Amos Zaraway showed me a case of the quicks right there.
Jacksonville walloped San Francisco today 41-3. Tennessee rallied. They were down 9 points in the fourth quarter, but they beat Cincinnati 36-35. New England over the Jets 30-28, and Dallas with a great comeback in overtime they were down 21 points in the second half. They beat the Skins in Washington 41-35.
They measure. The nose of the football indeed indicates what we called. It's a first down and a 5-yard pickup on the run by Amos Zaraway.
And a dear Mike Tomczak is 4 for 4 for 38 yards.
Tomczak, slot left to the wide side. Reads the Cleveland defense and says, we're going to run this play. So he didn't change it apparently this time. And he gives it to Zaraway, who tries to turn the corner behind the lead block of Richard Huntley, the fullback, and he gets a couple of yards, that's all. Stays on the field of play, so that winds clock, and that's the final play of the third quarter. The Tim Couch era is about to unfold, but the circumstances to him are not very favorable. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Pittsburgh 26, Cleveland nothing. The Steelers have a 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line, so Tim Couch and his debut will have to wait until the Steelers apparently take a little more time off the clock.
So
The deepest penetration, Myron and Tunch, that Cleveland has been able to master was in their second series of this football game. They got all the way to the Steeler 45-yard line.
And Tunch, will you still think it's the right move to put Couch in there if, like Ricky Williams with New Orleans today, the two of them, Couch making way more money than Williams gets knocked out of the game with an injury?
Let's make him a China doll and put him on the shelf. Then it's football, for crying out loud. People get hurt. It's a physical game. If you want to play golf, play golf.
What's wrong with golf? The way I play it, it's physical. Those trees hurt when you have to swing from underneath them. Zaraway in motion, out to the right. Tomczak on 2nd and 8. Little underneath pass thrown to Richard Huntley. Sidesteps a tackler inside the 15 and gets down very close to the first down.
Oh, he made a fool out of that.
He got the first down.
That Raheem Abdullah, he made a fool out of him with a move on the sideline. These guys are missing tackles all over the place.
You know, it's safe to say that Cleveland stinks, Myron. I mean, I'm sorry. You know, I wanted to see a nice rivalry game, you know, but let's face it. It started out nice and chippy, but the Browns brought more bark than bite.
10-yard gain on the little underneath pass to Huntley, playing fullback now in front of Zaraway. And the give is to the second man, Zaraway. He's hit hard as he gets to the 10. And celebrating that hard hit is Wally Rayner. And Tim McTire also jumps up and celebrates. And I don't know what they want to celebrate here unless I don't know. What am I missing?
How can you be celebrating?
Well, that's what it looked like to me. They said, wow, did we do a good job hitting him hard that time?
They should be fined for that.
You know what? We may not get a chance to see Tim Couch if the Steelers just ball control the game out.
Oh, the time of possession is out of sight. It's 35 minutes to 10 minutes to this juncture. And the give is to Zaraway. Hey, what a nifty run inside the 5 down to the 2-yard line. And there you go, Cope. He gave you your famous zig and a zag.
Oh, did the famous Amos give us the zig? That was a sweetie of a run. Sweetie, yoy.
And it's close to a first. I think he got the first down at the 2-yard line.
Do you remember last week when I was saying that I was a little concerned for the starters, that could they go a whole game? Well, we're at the start of the fourth quarter, and I should have said, can they go 90 plays? Because they may run 90 plays before this is over. These guys are going to be tired tomorrow.
You know what? And at the end of this game, Jerry Ball might weigh 255 pounds.
He hasn't weighed 255 since 6th grade.
Yeah, you're right. Everything's in tight. 1st and goal at the 2. 3 tight ends. The give to Zaraway. Oh, he slips as he cuts to the 1-yard line, and a helmet flies. This time it's a Steeler helmet, and it belongs to right guard Brendan Stye. Oh, Amos would have had the end zone. I have no question about that, but he planted and slipped, and we've seen slips on this new surface. It's only about a week old here at Cleveland Brown Stadium, which right now is about, I'd say, 70% capacity. I think maybe 20,000 fans have left, maybe 25. 2nd and goal from the 1. Zaraway dots the power eye, the tight eye, and he gets down to the half-yard line, and he gets to the goal line, and he is ruled into the end zone. Or are they going to say he's down? Nope, he's going to be down short of the goal line.
John Theory, the linebacker, appeared to have an easy shot at him in the backfield and didn't bring him down. He arm tackled him, or tried to.
Ball is just inside the 1. Excuse me, Tunch, and it's 3rd down and goal from right there.
Very interesting. Like I said, when the Steelers came out and the Browns came out for pregame, Browns made it seem like it was a holiday out here. The Steelers came out very businesslike.
Turn by Tomczak to give to Zaraway. He gets airborne to the goal line, but he's stood up and knocked back again. It's 4th down and inches. And does Chris Brown budge on the near sideline? He sure does. Here comes the field goal team on, and it'll be a point blanker.
Well, I think they wanted to keep giving Amos the ball to let Amos have a little fun. Now, that sounds stupid, but the score is 26-0. Let's give Amos a nice workout.
And
That's all right.
I'm impressed with the play of Richard Huntley tonight at both tailback and fullback.
That's right. And John Whitman. John Whitman's caught a couple balls. He's ran the ball a couple times. You know, it's just like Gilbride said, he's going to move the ball around a lot today, and we saw a lot of guys contributing to this offense.
24-yard field goal attempt for Chris Brown is on its way. It's up and good, and the Steelers lead this contest 29-0. 11:10 to go with the score, Pittsburgh 29. The Dog Pound nothing. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers Football Network.
Defensive coordinator Jim Haslett was saying the other day in the papers that his defense has decidedly improved over last year, and I thought maybe that was a little stretch, but they're pitching a shutout. Now, it's against a terrible opponent, but they've held the Browns to only 2 first downs in this game, each of them, one on their first series and another one on their second offensive series.
Chris Brown on the run-up, and he boots it deep. Down to the 6-yard line this time, taken by Ronnie Powell. Behind the wedge at the 10-15 left with the loose football. Steelers have picked it up. Now they dive for it. And who's on top of it? The Pittsburgh Steelers have played takeaway. Powell fumbled when hit, and diving on the football is rookie number 1 pick Troy Edwards.
And I think, who was it who made that tackle? I think it was John Fiala. But anyhow, there goes your Tim Couch. He ain't getting off the bench.
I said he might not come back. As I'm looking at it looks like Lance Brown stripped the ball. He came from his left end spot on the kickoff coverage team and stripped the ball.
I think I just heard the public address announcer say, ladies and gentlemen, the Tim Couch era has been delayed.
You know, the Browns, are we on the air?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Because I want to point out the Browns have been held to 48 yards offense.
Steelers from the Browns 21. After the fumble recovery by rookie Troy Edwards. Quick out to the left, and with the football is Richard Huntley. Breaks a tackle and gets into the end zone from 21 yards out. Somebody came up and tried to greet him at the 15, and I mean, he said, no way, I'm going north and south.
That was the rookie draft pick, the defensive back, Dalen McCutcheon, whose father, you tell me, played in the... Was Lawrence McCutcheon?
Yes, Lawrence.
Yeah.
Not Larry, but Lawrence.
Lawrence could have done a much better job on that play.
Well, you know, I was talking to John Yurkovic before the game. I played with him up in Yurkovic. No, Yurkovic.
It's Vic. He told me himself.
Vic.
He's
whatever.
Serbian, I think, isn't he?
Yes, he is, and that's how you pronounce it.
Here comes the extra point try by Chris Brown. It's up and good, and the Steelers are running the Cleveland Browns all over this football field. The Cleveland Browns have picked up an amazing total of 2 first downs, 1 in each of their first 2 series, and ever since then, the Steeler defense has throttled Ty Detmer and company. From Cleveland Brown Stadium, Steelers football continues with the score, Pittsburgh 36 and Cleveland nothing.
Rockin' Steelers Country, WDVE, Pittsburgh.
Richard Huntley's second touchdown reception as a Steeler from 21 out from Tomczak, and it's 36-0. Here's Chris Brown with a short, high kickoff. Behind the wedge at the 14-yard line, Ronnie Powell going to try it again, and he steps over his own blocker, comes up over the 25, and is driven to the natural surface at the 28-yard line. And for the issue having been decided, they are still hitting hard out there. This hard hit supplied by Chad Kelsey. Listen to the cheer for Tim Couch as he trots onto the field.
And you know, this return to the 28, well, actually, the Browns had a return out to the 29-yard line in this just not too long ago, and that was their longest kickoff return of the ball game.
Tim Couch is at quarterback, Mike.
I know.
Offset backfield left, Couch, the rookie from Kentucky, the number 1 pick in the draft this year. Flash bulbs pop as he goes back. Pass over the middle, picked off at the 40-yard line. Steelers have it. Look out. Here comes Scott Shields, the big rookie from Weber State, and he rambles inside the 35, down to the 30-yard line. The Tim Couch era begins just like the Dan Marino era did at the University of Pittsburgh with an interception. I remember that very vividly.
And they did blitz him, too. They brought a guy from the corner.
Yeah, but they brought one guy. It wasn't like he got
hit. So he throws the interception. What good does that get his confidence? You said he got to get in there, build his confidence. Throws an interception on the first play.
I'm telling you, it's a great position. He's in a no-lose situation. So what? He throws a pick. Nothing's happened by the Browns offense. It's good for him to get in the game.
We have a surrender.
At
The
least he
Cleveland Browns
completed the ball.
broadcasters have waved the white flag and said, call off the troops. The white flag is up in Cleveland. And Tomczak goes to an audible with a slot right from the 29-yard line. The give is to Amos Zaraway, and he twists and turns and gets down to about the 27-yard line.
And a footnote for Ilkin here. J.D. Fogarty says not only did he throw the interception, did the catch, but he got knocked on his derriere by Orpheus Roy.
Well, what do you think this is, tennis? People don't get knocked on their
that'll build
derriere.
his confidence. That'll build confidence.
Here comes another check with me. Tomczak redeploys his slot man out a little wider. Short drop, quick post, and it's an outside post to Troy Edwards. Maintains his balance and gets the first down to about the 18-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. Marquise Smith, the rookie defensive back from California, second pick in the third round for Cleveland in this year's draft, makes the stop, and the Steelers move the sticks once again. This has been total domination.
And a footnote for Dr. Cope. I'm not wanting them to do good, but you're paying a guy $1 bazillion. The game is lost. You got to get him into the ball game.
You
He can't lose.
You got a big return on your gazillion dollars there.
But this is a long-term investment, not a short-term, Myron.
From the 18, Amos Zaraway through a big hold inside the 15 down to the 10-yard line. He gets 8 yards, does famous Amos. Amos, the Steelers' third pick in the third round this year at 5'8", 202. Great back at West Virginia, where he broke a lot of Big East rushing records for the Mountaineers.
36-0 is the score. 8 minutes and 47 seconds remaining, and the Steelers are going for more, and they look like they're running against tissue paper.
They're not even two-ply.
Second down and 2 at the 10. Slot to the left, and again, check with me. Tomczak communicates the play. He's going to famous Amos. And Amos skirts around right end and almost gets in, but then is dragged down from behind at the 3-yard line by a Cleveland defensive back, Tim McTire, who celebrates just like he had won something. Did he hit the lottery? Because he certainly is. Tim, can you hear me down on the field? Have you looked at the scoreboard, Tim?
Well,
it's unbelievable.
So many little things so few things have gone right for the Browns that they're starting to celebrate things like tackles and blocks.
It's amazing.
And getting off on the snap count.
I think Chris Palmer's already called that 1-800 number that the Browns have at their disposal 24 hours a day. First and goal at the 3-yard line. The turn and give to Zaraway. He's in a crowd's going to lose yardage. Out to the 6. He lost 3 yards trying to go wide. And the Steelers just wind the clock is obviously their purpose here. It's down to halfway through the fourth quarter, and the Steelers lead this contest 36-0. That play was made by Darius Holland and Wally Rayner, the middle linebacker.
Maybe we ought to explain that 800 number that each Brownie carries on a keychain given to them by the head of the security for the Brownies, who was Clinton's bodyguard, head of the Secret Service. They're to call that number anytime they're in trouble, you see. And one of them actually got cramps at a restaurant, called it, then he came flying, got him to the hospital in an IV in 15 minutes.
I notice a lot of cell phones on the Browns bench right now.
Here is the draw play. Out to the left and scrambling down to the goal line, and then losing on impact at the 1 is Richard Huntley. He was trying to get the ball over the goal line, but he was already down just shy of the 1-yard line. It's third down and goal at that point. Marquise Smith will be given credit for that tackle, but Huntley really was stumbling when he got down there. So give Marquise Smith credit for stopping and saving a touchdown. Unlike Tim McTire, Smith just gets up and goes on about his business. Now Hines Ward is a late arrival on the field. Are the Steelers going to go to a gadget here near the goal line? They go 3 tight ends, and they bring Richard Huntley off. The lone wideout. Nope, they got 2 wideouts in there. They got Ward to one side, and is that Bobby Shaw to the other? No, it's Troy Edwards. And a timeout by the Pittsburgh Steelers, their second of this half. And it occurs at 6:13. From Cleveland Brown Stadium, Steelers football continues with a score. Pittsburgh 36, Cleveland the Goose Egg.
Hi, this is LeVon Kirkland. The Steelers play here, 102.5 DVE.
The Steelers pitching a shutout so far and about ready to add to their 36-0 lead. Last shutout was the 1997 when they whipped Baltimore 37-0. Also a Sunday night appearance for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3rd and goal outside the 1. Tomczak says, check with me. And the back behind him is Richard Huntley. Throws for the corner, and it's caught there for the touchdown. Tight coverage and a great job by the Steeler receiver, Hines Ward, to just take it away from Ryan McNeil. What an effort by Hines Ward, and a great throw by Tomczak into heavy-duty traffic.
And Ryan McNeil never saw the pass because he's got his back to the pass, and he's plastered himself on Hines Ward's chest. But Hines Ward nonetheless makes the catch beautiful.
And great job of Tomczak at putting the ball right where only Hines Ward could see it.
It's 42-0, about to become 43 as Chris Brown, the rookie from Nebraska, puts it up and through. Good hold by Tomczak, good snap by Schneck. And the Steelers on both sides of the football have totally dominated this Cleveland Brown club. And by the way, the rumor is that Josh Miller will be made to jog back to Pittsburgh to loosen up his leg.
He has not punted once tonight. The only time the Steelers were stopped without a score was when the head linesman stopped them on their opening drive at the 21 when he gave them an atrocious mark on a 4th and 1 quarterback sneak by Slash Stewart.
Steelers have just been a juggernaut tonight. Now the question is, okay, the Steelers look fine.
Did the Steelers...
Are the Baltimore... No, Baltimore. I hear I want to confuse the franchise. Are the Cleveland Browns really as bad as they seem to be tonight?
Yes.
Thanks for being very, very cautious.
You know what? It is what it is. And tonight, they are that bad. Now, next week, they may play a lot better. But as of right now, this team in the brown jerseys and the orange pumpkin-looking helmets have nothing going for them. They don't have an offensive line that controls the line of scrimmage. They don't have an offense with any weapons. Defensively, they're very, very soft. They don't stop the run. They don't rush the passer, and they don't cover well.
Wait, remember when the Steelers at Three Rivers walloped the Browns? Was it 51-0?
You mean when the Browns walloped the Steelers?
Oh, was that the other way around?
And thank
That's
you for
right.
bringing up a pleasant memory.
Well,
why don't you give me a
would you
paper?
be sensitive to
why
that,
don't you
Tunch?
give me a paper cup and pour lime juice all over it? You know.
Yes, but Tunch, the Steelers that year, despite that loss,
I know.
they had a great Pro Bowler, only one.
You know what? That wasn't the year.
Oh.
That was the year we started out 0-2. We lost 51-0 to Cleveland, then 45-10 to Cincinnati. And, of course, Chuck Noll had the great quote, I hope we just played the two best teams in the National Football League.
Brown's leg's getting tired. This kickoff goes to the 19-yard line and is taken there by the return man, Ronnie Powell, who's been busy all night returning kickoffs. John Fiala, the Steelers' special teams gem, has made another play, and the ball this time, unfortunately, is Cleveland's best field position outside the 30.
And let's make note of the fact that the dear Mike Tomczak, at 82 years old, is 8 for 8 for 69 yards. Okel dear Mike Tomczak. The Steelers have rushed for 200 yards, passed for 253, run 80 plays to 23 for the Browns.
Oh, my. Draw play. And here comes running back Cedric Shaw, the third-year man from Iowa, and he gets a few yards from the 32 out to the 35. If this score continues, this will be the Steelers' third-best scoring margin in history.
Third best. Wow. Cedric Shaw has replaced the dear Terry Kirby. Remember when we saw him filling in for Curtis Martin in New England? He was terrible.
I remember that.
Martin was hurt.
2nd and 7. Steelers show blitz. Here they come for Couch. Marker down, and he throws the ball away.
Jeremy Stott.
Were the Steelers offside? Yep.
Jeremy Stott was in the neutral
Well,
zone.
Jim Pine is pointing that the Steelers are guilty.
Look at
now
this.
we
Now,
got
wait a
a
minute.
little fracas.
I'll tell you what happened.
Earl Holmes involved with a Cleveland man. Was it Couch?
It was Couch walked up behind Earl. He apparently didn't like something, and he kicked Earl right in the ankle. And Earl turned around and said,
Offside.
"That's smarts."
Defensive nose tackle.
I think he said a little
5
more
yards.
than that smarts.
Repeat the
He
down.
just
Second
walked.
down.
That kid, he walked up and he kicked him a swift kick in the ankle or the calf.
I think it was a little higher.
I once
No, it wasn't. Really.
I once on a Monday night watched Jugs, Justin Strelzik, plant a mule type kick to the midsection of Cornelius Bennett, or maybe lower.
Well, I'll tell you the better one. It happened in Cleveland Stadium in the 70s. And I'll finish that off. Let's let them run this important play.
It's very important.
It's 2nd and 2 after the offside call from the 40. Couch, quick out and off the fingertips and thrown behind the intended receiver, Leslie Shepard, the former Steeler product.
Joe Green got in a fight in front of the Cleveland bench right below us. They jumped him, a ton of them. Mike Lucci was kicking him in the you-know-where, the ex-Pitt kiddo, who became an NFL coach. Then, downfield, I don't know why I took my eyes off the riot. I glanced 30 yards downfield to my right. I'll tell you the rest of it after they run this important play.
With bated breath, we wait. 3rd down and 2 from the 40. Steelers show blitz, but don't. Couch, quick out and off the fingertips again, this time of Kevin Johnson. And Couch is having, well, they're booing Couch.
Who's number 3?
I happened to, don't ask me why, I glanced downfield, 30 yards downfield. A running back had run out for a pass, and Jack Splat Lambert was covering him. So the running back sees the plays over, everybody's fighting up the field there. So he turns around, he's walking back to the line of scrimmage, and Splat walks up to him. I'll tell you what, they've got to run this important punt.
Yes, it's Gardocki punting to Troy Edwards. And it's high and deep. Inside the 10, Edwards going to let it hit and go into the end zone. Wise decision by the rookie from Louisiana Tech.
And Splat walks up to him like 3 yards or so and hauls off and punts him right in the backside. And nobody saw it except me in the whole stadium. They're watching a fight. So I go through that tiny little locker room, and thank goodness they got a good visiting locker room finally now. But I go there, Splat's the last man in the shower. You know, Tunch, how you could walk right by the shower there on the way to the suitcases. And I says, hey, Splat, I seen you do that. He give me a smirk and didn't say a thing.
A truthful smirk. Meanwhile, we just get this information. All sports talk shows in the city of Cleveland have been canceled for 3 days. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. It is Pete Gonzalez at quarterback. The Steelers go 3 deep at QB. Second-year man from the University of Pittsburgh hands it off to Famous Amos, the West Virginia connection, and he gets maybe a yard, and that's all as we pause for station identification on the Pittsburgh Steelers Football Network.
Pittsburgh Steelers football is brought to you by PPG Industries, the winning team in Olympic wood care products and transitions lenses.
102.5 WDVE, Pittsburgh.
Second down and a long 9. How long? Oh, about 9.9 yards. Steelers with things well in command. 43-0. Sprint draw to the right. Amos follows Huntley, turns the corner. There's a marker down. It looks like holding against the Steelers. Somebody on the flank trying to seal things off before Amos ran into the waiting arms of Lenoy Jones, 4th-year man from TCU.
Yeah, I remember back when I was a kid at Forbes Field the Steelers were playing, and they just killed the New York Giants. It might be the biggest margin they ever had.
Number 60, offense, 10 yards, 2nd down.
And the Giants were then coached by the famous coach Steve Owen, who was called Stout Steve Owen. The game ended, I think that was 50-something to nothing. The game ended, you know what he did with his team?
63-7, I think it was.
Is that what it was?
I think it was.
Anyhow, the game ends, you know what Stout Steve Owen says? He says, stop right there, you guys, and stay on the field. He held a practice.
Whoa.
That's the truth.
Was Johnny... Oh, wait, no.
Was Stout tall?
Joe Bach.
Fat.
Was Joe Bach the coach of the Steelers?
I don't remember.
And isn't that when Owen called him Hungry Joe Bach?
Maybe.
And here comes a good move by Famous Amos and another marker down as he's driven out of bounds at the 20-yard line on a 2nd and long. Jameer Miller brought him down, and this may be another holding call. The first one was on Anthony Brown. Let's see which way this goes. It's against the Steelers, so this is just degenerated into a delightful conversation.
Number 86, offense.
You know, they called Hines Ward, but
Half
Hines
the distance
Ward,
to the goal line. Repeat the down.
he had a
2nd down.
great crackback on Jameer Miller. Just came over and just knocked, just cleared his sinuses on that one.
And he's 6'6" and 265, Jameer Miller, linebacker. But Gil Lucas, our statistician tonight, tells me the Browns have had 1 first down since their second play of the game. Triple yoy!
Wow,
triple yoy.
I wonder
And
if
Cleveland Browns are saying fat.
is Chris Palmer going to show these videos to the players, or is he going to just throw them right out the window tomorrow?
You were saying that all the talk
Amos
shows,
tippy toes for no yardage, and that'll bring up third and about 23.
you were saying all the talk shows are called off in Cleveland. Are you kidding? Those switchboards are going to light up for the next 3 days.
Our guest is Carmen Policy. Carmen?
So do you think you have the nucleus you wanted?
I'm sorry, I didn't say nuclear. I said nucleus. This has been a nuclear implosion from the Cleveland perspective.
Al Lerner, the new owner, he introduces Carmen Policy at functions as when he was a young lawyer in Youngstown, as the guy who represented the people who were bombing cars.
Pistol Pete in the shotgun, 3rd and 23, back at his one. Quick out to the left, Hines Ward trying to pick up a block from his fellow wide receiver, and he gets out to the 17-yard line. For about 10 yards before Marquise Smith makes the stop on the play, and the Steeler punt team comes on the field for the first time in this game. Josh Miller, the guy who's looking more and more like an all-pro, goes out there, and he's going to loosen his leg up tonight.
I hope he's loose. I hope he doesn't pull a muscle. He hasn't done anything since the pregame warm-up.
But I think Carmen Policy was just getting out of law school at that time. But I could tell you about the car bombings in Youngstown. I'll tell you a story about that.
Well, I would love to hear that. Here's the punt by Miller. And it's kind of wobbly, not real long. Fair catch signal for, and taken at the 49-yard line of the Cleveland Browns. This will be their best field position of the night. Kevin Johnson took the fair catch.
And if they get across the 50, it'll only be the second time tonight? I believe so. But anyhow, I was a writer then, didn't know nothing about broadcasting, still don't. But anyhow, the Saturday Evening Post, these guys are turning on their ignition in Youngstown, and their cars are blowing up with them too. And the Saturday Evening Post sends me to Youngstown to do a story on it. I'll continue it after this important play.
Will the Browns cross midfield? No. There's a big loss on the play as Cedric Shaw tries to turn the corner. Nolan Harrison and Jeremy Stott provide a whole escort of defense.
So on the third day in town, I go in to see the mayor, Frank R. Franco, a tall, skinny guy with patent leather hair. He looked like Sean Carradine, the old heavy in the movies,
I remember.
And Frank R. Franco says, about time you come to see me. You've been talking to all my enemies for 3 days. After this important play, I'll continue.
Shaw loses 4, 2nd and 14. Couch at the controls. He's going to throw it. Here comes a blitz. He's down. Sack on the play from behind. A fumble. Loose ball. Pile up. Who has the football at the Cleveland 38-yard line?
Joey Porter.
The
sack.
Steelers have the football at the 38-yard line. A big sack for Joey Porter, or he recovered. It was Nolan Harrison who came in from the backside. No, it was Porter who came in from the backside. We'll get it straight.
And Porter came in and stripped him of the football while sacking him, and Harrison recovered the fumble to dear Nolan Harrison. So the Steelers, did the Browns, they didn't cross the 50, did they?
Nope.
Okay. So anyhow, Frank R. Franco says to me, you guys are interrupting my story. I got to say, the 2-minute
How can you interrupt Cope to pay the bills? You tell me the sense of that.
The 2-minute warning is brought to you by Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania. We deliver with a score. They deliver. I don't. With the score. What is the score now?
43-0.
Franco delivers.
This is the Pittsburgh Steelers Radio Network.
After the 2-minute warning, Amos Zaraway gets a pretty nifty run off the right side for about 7 yards. Advances it from the 38 down to about the 31. It'll be 2nd down and 3.
So Frank R. Franco, who was terribly criticized by the Youngstown Vindicator, says, you've been talking to my enemies your first 3 days in town and not to me. I says, how do you know that? He says, don't you think I haven't had you tailed since you stepped into town?
Oh, I'm not driving home with you then.
Now the Steelers are going to kill the clock at 1:14. It's going to be the knee for Pete Gonzalez, who has completed his first NFL pass. A fine young man from the University of Pittsburgh who had a marvelous year as a senior, capped by a great performance against West Virginia as the Panthers got that all-important number 6 and sent them to a bowl game. It was against a strong Southern Mississippi team, but Pete had a wonderful year where he threw 30 touchdowns and was intercepted only 7 times. He takes the knee and kills more clock, and what's left of the dog pound has headed for the flats.
And Amos Zaraway, goodness gracious, he's got 50 yards on how many carries, Gil? Huh? 16 carries. That's nice work if you can get it, and he's getting it. Because he tries.
Pete's going to take the knee again and kill the clock for good. And what a performance by the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cleveland Browns, wow. They just come up short in all departments. The Steelers ran 87 snaps offensively to the Browns 27. That's domination that might set a few NFL records. I don't ever think I've ever seen a mismatch this great. Have you seen it?
Even the 51-0 game that you reminded me of, they won 51-0 because of all these bounces. We at least were competitive. I mean, as competitive as you can be with 51-0. But it was interceptions for touchdowns and fumble recoveries for touchdowns. It was big plays that beat us. This was just a total waxing.
Waxing, or as some people prefer to use the vernacular, a butt kicking.
The butt kick, that's a good vernacular.
43-0 is the final score. That's the end of the game. Stay tuned as we send it back to Phil Kurzik at the studio for Steelers Wrap-Up.